Hello and welcome to the Healing Invoker. I know it's been a while because I was thinking that I would just come back fresh and in a new month. I know it's February and 2025. I don't know how that's been. Before I get into what 2025 signifies, I will just say hello. My name is Darina. I'm a mental and emotional fitness coach, and I coach through Aura. I also create content there. So if you would like to work with me in some capacity, you can always check out Aura, and it's available in 5 languages. Apart from English, it's in Portuguese, Spanish, French, Korean, and Japanese and German. There is content in those languages if you are interested, and with my link you can get a 30-day pass as well, so you can use the app. And feel free to check my lives because I'm on there every Sunday, and now I am there every Wednesday, and usually Wednesdays is where I will teach you how to journal. And on Sundays, if we call it Sunday recalibration, so there's always a topic and we discuss and people get to ask questions. So it's pretty interactive. So I don't know how your year was last year. Did you take stock on and start thinking about what was important to you last year? What did you learn? And how were your holidays? Did you enjoy them? Let me know below. My holidays were amazing. I finally got to experience summertime during the winter. So I was down south like the birds, enjoying summer at the equator. So it was fabulous. I got to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a really long time, and I absolutely enjoyed that. And there was a lot of lessons to be learned. Maybe one day I will share them here. But for now, I am going to seep into what 2025 signifies. So if you watched my video that I posted about the significance of 2024, then you will understand that I already said that 2024 was a year of 8 and 2025 is a year of 9. 2025 in general, if you think about what happened in 2016, if there's any shifts in your life or anything of that sort, that is a reflection of what's going to happen this year. The difference is, if in those 9 years you did the work, then your life is going to be so different. So think about it that way. So 9 signifies humanitarianism. It signifies endings and new beginnings. It signifies change, profound change. And usually if you are going through a personal year of 9 is basically, for lack of a better word, tumultuous, and it is a poop show, basically. And a lot of things happen. Like, some people end up in rock bottom. It feels like having the carpet pulled up from under you. So sometimes it can be either you lose jobs, redundancy, there's death. They could be ending of relationships and stuff. And sometimes in those situations, it can be very, very painful unless you've done the work. So it's not as painful because it's something that you're expecting and you're able to set boundaries and say no. So 2025 is basically about letting go of things that don't serve you. And it could mean transitions, it could mean moving, it could mean new relationships, it could mean epiphanies. And this year in particular, 9, is about changing how you view your world. And it could be your world or their world or your environment, your relationships, your jobs, how you move, how you speak. For some, it could be a realization that they're not living or they're not aligned in what they're doing. So it calls for a lot of change. This is the year that if you've been sick and tired of being sick and tired, it is time to finally honor that voice in you that says, we need a change, we need to move. And usually when that happens, you will notice a lot of patterns happening. Maybe you find yourself prone to accidents, you find yourself prone to different things, and you're wondering, why does this keep happening to me? But then it comes a point where you have to make a decision. Are you okay with where you are? And are you willing to take the steps to change your circumstances? Meaning, are you willing to go the extra mile to make sure that things happen? Because they say, there's a saying that says, if there's a will, you'll find a way. If you can't, it's an excuse. And at some point, I used to think that was BS, but later I realized that it is kind of true. So, January is already passed, but then I will go month by month, basically telling you what to expect in 2025. But we'll just go through January, even if January is gone. Just let me know if this resonated with you or not. So January is a new beginning. It's a fresh start. A lot of people probably went through a fresh perspective on who they are, what their values are, what their significance is, what roles they play in their lives. And a lot of people may feel that they're in transit, meaning that they're on a journey, but they're not arriving at that journey. And sometimes you may feel like you don't know where to go. And January was a very significant month in that it is about deciding what direction you want to go, but with gentleness, and thinking about what things that you did in the past that brought you to where you are today. And as we move on to this current month, February, I know January may have been difficult, but be still, breathe, and look at your achievements. Take this time to celebrate yourself, right? And remind yourself of who you are. Take a day off if possible to do absolutely nothing, and grieve, cry if you can't. Schedule 30 minutes to experience. If you can't, schedule 30 minutes of being in your energy. And the reason I say that is because adulting is not easy. And there's so many things going on. There's busyness. There is lack of seeing the people in your lives a lot because everyone lives far, maybe not in the same country, not in the same region. And sometimes you miss that connection. And sometimes you miss being able to just call people or just go to someone's place and be like, hey, this is what I'm going through. I need a good cry. And having someone hold you or hold space for you. And if you don't have that, I can hold space for you for that. So what I'd like you to do is schedule 30 minutes to cry or 30 minutes of silence in your schedule. And when you put in your calendar, it's something that you have to honor. So let's normalize taking space to cry, because there are days when we just have to release all those things inside us, because they say that tears are one of those things that actually help people feel better because you're letting go of grief, right? So that is what I would say this year is definitely take time to be still. And whenever you have those moments where things are going wrong, ask yourself to just take time and take stock of everything that you have experienced, and then move forward with gentleness. So February is the month of 2. What are you learning about February? It's about partnerships. It's about learning about balance, finding out about boundaries and limits, and learning to move with purpose. Finding wholeness, understanding what's important to you and your values. So that could be not only understanding your values, but understanding your limits, what's good and what's bad, and moving with your own energy and understanding, like basically introspection and self-reflection, and thinking about the relationships, your partnerships, and also seeing where you fall short as well. So your relationship with yourself. So March is a month of expression. It's a month of being out there. It's a month of breaking free from limiting beliefs, limiting ideologies, limiting places. It's finding new ways to experience things and see. It's also time to reflect. And it's a great time for spiritual awakenings and understanding of the three bodies. And the three bodies is the mental, emotional, and spiritual. For the fourth body, that's your physical, take time to rest if you can. And that will kind of help you lead the way. And a way that you can take some time, I would highly recommend journaling. If you struggle with journaling, just know that I do have a 30-day self-compassion journaling course for those of you who don't have, feel like you don't have compassion for yourself. And lack of self-compassion could be renumerating about things from the past, bullying yourself meaning telling yourself certain things like lies, like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, and all those things. And sometimes those things could be generational, and sometimes those things could come from either bullying or things from the past. So be mindful of that. So journaling, I would say, is an amazing way to get through that. Another thing that I would highly recommend, if you really do not like writing, then the other option could be is video diaries or voice notes to yourself, dedicated to yourself, and you listen to them when you can. And yeah, but most of all, try and take time for yourself. April is the time to create a foundation. Reflect on what's missing. What's missing in your life? What do you desire? What do you want? It's time to dot your I's and cross your T's. Allow yourself to tap into your wisdom, into building something new. So April would be a perfect month to start something new. So it could be either a new relationship, it could be a new foundation, it could be learning what it is, or learning to visualize and sit in the feeling of what it feels like to be stable. So stability could be financial stability. It could be you searching for peace. It could be you searching for joy. If you have those things, for example, if you had a relationship, a partner, if you want children, if you want a promotion, how would you feel if that were to happen? Because a lot of people like the idea of something, but then when they get it, they don't have the capacity to handle it. So where is it within yourself that you're blocking yourself from receiving that, or blocking yourself from maintaining that? And that's actually a good journal prompt. Where is it in your life that you feel that you're blocking yourself from receiving what you desire? Or should I add, deeply desire? So what is it blocking you from receiving what you deeply desire? And that basically may open doors for you. So let's go to May. May is about transformation. It's about travel. It's about expressing. It's about discovering yourself, your truth, and understand who is who. When I say who is who, I'm talking about what are the roles that you play in your life. You may be a father, a mother, an uncle, an aunt, a sister, a friend. I don't know what profession you're in, but are you allowing those roles to take over who you are? Who are you to the core? Who is you? Do you even understand what your name means? Do you understand the strength and power of your names? Because a lot of people, when you ask them, what does your name mean? Most of them don't know. For me, Dorina means gift of God. And it basically means that I have to show up and give. Give not from an empty cup, but give from a full cup. So this is how I've ended up doing the things that I do. And the funniest thing ever is like when I met people or found people whose name is Dorina, most of them are creative. Most of them are poets or writers or something of the sort. So there is something in a name. And I also have a nickname that I use now and then. However, I find that Dorina is more powerful because I understand what that name means, right? So who are you, and who are you without these roles? And if these roles and if these people, whatever, all these things were taken away from you and they were stripped from you, who would you be? And that is a question to ask. So if everything in your life was stripped from you, who would you be? And would you be able to carry or replicate the tools or everything that you have right now, or would that be difficult? So think about those things. As for June is about nurturing yourself, reflecting on family, your values, and is a time for radical rest. This is a time when I encourage you to reach out to your family. Doesn't necessarily mean people related to you by blood, but people who see you, who understand you, who make you feel safe. So it might be that time to just sit down and experience their essence, their wisdom, or it's time for you to just take a break and vacation. Maybe by yourself, whether it's 2 days or 3 days. If you can't remember the last time you had a vacation, even if it's, you don't even maybe have to leave town, you could just take a day by yourself and remember what it's like to be by yourself. And if you happen to be by yourself in general, then take this time to celebrate yourself and your achievements, because we're halfway done through the year, right? Okay, so moving on to July. July is a month of introspection, reflection, and higher perspective. And it's an opportunity to learn new things. New things meaning maybe you've been thinking about studying. Maybe you've been learning about your gifts. Maybe you've been learning about what it feels like to have understanding. There's something in the past that you've been renumerating on and you maybe want clarity. So this is a good month to kind of sort that out. As we move towards August, that is a month of partnering and manifestation. I see a lot of new business prospects. I see a lot of people having their goals manifested. I see a lot of people coming into money. I see a lot of completion, and I see a lot of new ideas and perspectives in August. So September is going to be a major ending. So look out for these dates, 999. So the 9th of September is going to be a significant day. The 18th of September is going to be a significant day. And the 27th of September, because when you add up those numbers, it's going to be 999. So it might not be an easy month for most of you, but just be mindful, and whatever warnings or whatever things your intuition has been saying that you've not been listening to, start to learn to listen to them and honor them and learn how to navigate through them. Don't gaslight yourself. That's what I would say. So, and those dates will definitely have powerful energies. I usually ask people to refrain from certain rituals because we don't know where some certain origins come from. But I would say if you're going to do something, do it in your way and not in the way where someone says, hey, this is the time you all should meditate at this time, because there's a lot of harvesting of energy as well. I know this probably sounds crazy to some of you, but it's a real thing. So I would say on those days, just take the time maybe to instead of like do the opposite. Rest, evaluate what it is that you want, and allow yourself to come forth. And the funny thing is, we will be on the cusp of eclipse season. So in the southern hemisphere, it's going to be towards spring, but then in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be towards autumn. So that's going to be very interesting. So October is going to be a month of new perspectives, weaving lessons learned and regrouping. So take stock of everything that you've experienced the past 9 months. It's the 10th month. What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about the people around you? What have you learned about your job? So just know that everything will be coming together. So in November, it's about allowing new perspectives. And it's basically about taking stock of what you learned in October, bringing it forth to November. So in a way, it's time for you to kind of set your resolutions of change, because remember, 2026 is going to be a 1 year, like new beginnings, fresh perspective. Everything that hasn't worked out is not meant to carry you towards the new year. Whew. And in December of 2025, there's going to be great changes. There's going to be a new world order. In 2020, when they said there's new ways of living, so we're kind of going to go into that space of understanding what our world should be and what we want from it, instead of being told how we should live it. So there's just a lot of things that's going to happen in December, both good and bad, but it depends on where you are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So I would urge you, this is the year. If you haven't worked on your emotional intelligence, if you haven't strengthened your spirituality, if you haven't strengthened your mental, this is the year to do it. So that is basically what 2025 is about. And yes, and I feel like personally, I've already experienced some things even in February. There's been a lot of new beginnings as well, new perspectives, and I am excited about this journey. I'm excited about this journey as I am going to be entering a new decade as well. So that is a lot of perspective. So I will be on here. I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible. I may start posting, instead of posting on Saturdays, I may post on other days. But just know that I know there's a backlog of videos that I haven't uploaded, but I will at some point. But if you would like to learn more about numerology or find out what your personal year is, I have videos on that. And I will again go through what people whose personal years should be experiencing this year. On top of that, if you'd like a numerology reading, I do have an offer and for this year, and you can grab your offer from there. So it was lovely seeing you. I could give you a story time, but that is for another video. So I'm going to ask you to remember to do better, be better, and feel better. And above all else, acknowledge where you are now. Until the next video, see you soon and take care.